The nervous system and the endocrine system. In the previous video, we have learned the structure and functions of nervous system. In this video, we will be learning the structure and functions of the endocrine system and their relationship with the behavior and experience. When we are scared, we breathe heavily, right? And when we reach the puberty, certain changes takes place in our body. How these things are happening and which system is actually regulating all these things? Did you think about all these things? It's the human endocrine system. The nervous system plays an important role in control and coordination of the body. But the effect of this system does not reach each and every cell of the body. Its effect is of short duration and it cannot pass continuously. All these shortcomings are overcome in the endocrine system. The human endocrine system secretes chemicals that diffuse throughout the body and can influence all the cells of the target. Before going to the details, please remember to subscribe the channel. Thank you. Structure and function of endocrine system. Endocrine system consists of collection of glands. What is a gland? The gland is an organ that creates and releases substances that the body needs to function. So the gland creates and releases substances that the body needs to function. The endocrine system, it is a collection of ductless glands. So these glands doesn't have ducts. They produce hormones. And these hormones are secreted or released into the blood stream or the circulatory system. The endocrine glands work without the duct for carrying secretion towards the target organs. The hormones that are made by the glands are released into the bloodstream or the fluid surrounding the cells. So, these are the endocrine cells and it produces hormones. These hormones are released into the bloodstream. And next what happens? Next, it is received by the receptors in the target organs. So, it has a lock and key system. The receptors are present in various organs and tissues, and these receptors recognize and respond to the hormones that is released into the bloodstream. This way, the hormones secreted by the glands of the endocrine system travel through the bloodstream towards various organs and tissues in the body. So, it doesn't have a duct. The gland doesn't have a duct and it is secreted to the circulatory system and through that it reaches every organs and tissues. The endocrine system is responsible for regulating a range of bodily functions through the release of hormones. The hormones then tell these organs and tissues what to do or how to function. The endocrine system is widely distributed within the body. The parts of the endocrine system can function independently from one another. They regulate and coordinate the body. So, we have different endocrine glands in our body and each of these glands functions separately. This makes the endocrine system one of the most complexly structured body system. Some of the examples of the functions that are controlled by the endocrine system includes the metabolism, growth and development, sexual function and reproduction, heart rate, blood pressure, appetite, sleeping and waking cycles, and body temperature. So this is the structure and functions of the endocrine system, and each of these glands and how it functions, which are the hormones they are producing, we will see in the later slides. We have seen that the endocrine system is found throughout the body. Now we will see the glands that are present in the brain. It has hypothalamus, pituitary gland and pineal gland in the brain. First is hypothalamus. It controls the pituitary gland. It is located in the floor of diencephalon. It is a part of the nervous system. It produces hormones that are transferred to the pituitary glands. The hypothalamus controls the master gland, that is the pituitary gland. So, hypothalamus is considered as the control center of the endocrine system. It secretes releasing and inhibitory hormones, which are to be passed on to the pituitary gland. The oxytocin and vasopressin, these hormones are produced by the hypothalamus, which are transferred to the posterior pituitary for the direct secretion in the blood. So, the hypothalamus, it controls the pituitary gland and it secretes hormones that is transferred to the pituitary gland. Now we will see the details of pituitary gland. It is located below the hypothalamus. So here is the hypothalamus and pituitary gland is below the hypothalamus. It is about the size of a pea. It is the smallest endocrine gland. This gland is also called the master gland as it controls all other glands. So this gland controls the other glands in our body. So it is known as the master gland. This gland is divided into two lobes, that is anterior pituitary and the posterior pituitary. So the pituitary gland is divided into anterior pituitary gland and the posterior pituitary gland. The anterior pituitary gland secretes the hormones, growth hormone. This hormone is for the normal growth of a person. If this hormone is secreted too much, then the person becomes too tall and the disease is called gigantism. On the other hand, if it is secreted in less amount, then the person becomes dwarf and that disease is called dwarfism. Then it releases prolactin. This hormone is responsible for the growth of breast or mammary glands in mothers. Milk secretion is also controlled by this hormone, that is prolactin. In a pregnant and lactating woman, this hormone level will be high. Then gonadotropic hormones. It regulates the secretion of hormones from gonads, like estrogen in females and testosterone in males. So the gonadotropic hormones, it regulates the secretion of hormones like estrogen and testosterone. Then thyroid stimulating hormones. It stimulates the thyroid gland to secrete its hormone. So the thyroid gland, it secretes hormone, and to stimulate that production, this thyroid stimulating hormone is needed. Then adrenocorticotropic hormones. It stimulates the adrenal glands to secrete hormone. So the adrenocorticotropic hormone, it stimulates the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands are secreting hormones and to stimulate that function, this hormone is needed. Then the posterior pituitary gland. It produces oxytocin and vasopressin. The oxytocin hormone is responsible for the uterine contraction, that is the contraction of the uterus during the birth of a child. It is also called a birth hormone. And the vasopressin. Vasopressin helps the reabsorption of water from the tubules of the nephron. Nephrons are the basic unit of kidney. So this hormone, it helps in the reabsorption of water from nephrons and thus concentrating the urine. The high secretion of this hormone, that is vasopressin, it results in the constriction of the blood vessels, and less secretion of the hormone causes diabetes insipidus that result in frequent dilute urination, which may cause dehydration and thirst. Then next is the pineal gland. It is a small pea-shaped gland. Pineal gland is also small and it produces and regulate some hormones including the melatonin. The melatonin is best known for the role it plays in regulating sleep patterns, that is the circadian rhythm. And it also plays a role in the regulation of female hormone levels, and it may affect fertility and menstrual cycle. So these three are the endocrine system or the glands present in the brain: hypothalamus, pituitary gland and the pineal gland. And these are the functions and the hormones they are releasing. Endocrine system within the neck. Thyroid and parathyroid glands. The thyroid gland, it is a bilobed structure, that is, it has two lobes and it looks like a butterfly. It is situated just below the larynx and it is attached to the trachea in front of the neck. It is the largest endocrine gland. So which was the smallest endocrine gland? The pituitary gland, and it is in the brain. And this is the largest endocrine gland, that is thyroid gland, and it is in the neck. The hormone secreted by this gland is called thyroxine hormone and the calcitonin hormone. The thyroid gland secretes thyroxine hormone and the calcitonin hormone. The thyroxine formation requires iodine from outside, while it is not required for the formation of calcitonin. So, to produce the thyroxine hormone, the iodine is required. And if the iodine deficiency is not met, then it causes the deficiency disease of thyroxine hormone called the goiter. So, to produce thyroxine, iodine is needed and the deficiency lead to a disease known as goiter. The cretinism is the term given to the deficiency disease in children caused due to the deficiency of thyroxine, and in adults it is known as myxedema. If the thyroxine hormone is over-secreted, then it is called exophthalmia, in which eyes protrude out. So the excess or the lower production or secretion of the hormones can make changes in human body. The next is parathyroid gland. These glands are oval in shape and two pairs of it are present. So these are the parathyroid gland. One pair on each lobe. So the thyroid gland, it looks like the butterfly and it has two lobes, and in each lobe two parathyroid glands are present. The function of this gland is to secrete the parath hormone. It balances the calcium and phosphate level in blood. The excessive secretion of this hormone causes osteoporosis. and the insufficient secretion of this hormone causes hypocalcemic tetany. It results in cramps. So this is about the endocrine system within the neck, that is the thyroid gland and the parathyroid gland, and it is seen in the neck, in the larynx region, and it secretes, the thyroid gland secretes thyroxine and calcitonin, and the parathyroid gland secretes the parathormone. Endocrine system within the body. The first one is thymus. It is a pinkish gland situated near the heart. Its size is bigger during the puberty and its size constricts in old age. The function is it secretes the thymosin hormone. The thymosin helps in the formation of lymphocytes or the white blood cells that help to fight infections. So this is the thymus, and it is situated near the heart, and it secretes the thymosin hormone. Next is pancreas. Pancreas is a heterocrine gland because it has endocrine and an exocrine system. It is situated below the stomach under the C-shaped duodenum. It has both the endocrine and exocrine parts. That's why it is known as the hexocrine gland. The function of the pancreas is it secretes blood regulating hormones, the insulin and the glucagon. The insulin reduces the level of glucose while glucagon increases the level of glucose in the blood. The deficiency of insulin in the blood causes diabetes mellitus. Then adrenal gland. The adrenal gland, it is a pyramid shaped gland and it is lie above the kidney. So it got the name adrenal glands. Ad means above and renal means kidney. So adrenal means above the kidney. Each gland has an outer cortex and an inner medulla. So the adrenal gland, it is situated above the kidney and it has two parts, the adrenal cortex and the adrenal medulla. The adrenal cortex secretes three hormones and these three are collectively known as corticoids. The three hormones are glucocorticoids. This is for the carbohydrate metabolism, and the mineralocorticoids, it is for the mineral balance, and the sex corticoids, it is for the maintenance of external sex characters. Then the adrenal medulla, it secretes two types of hormones, the adrenaline and non-adrenaline, or the epinephrine or norepinephrine. The adrenaline hormone, that is the epinephrine hormone, it is called the emergency hormone or the flight and fight hormone. This hormone prepares our body for stress situations by increasing the heart rate, respiration, blood pressure, etc. So the adrenal gland has two parts, cortex and medulla, and the cortex produces hormones which collectively known as corticoids, and the medulla, it secretes two hormones, epinephrine or adrenaline and norepinephrine or noradrenaline. Next is gonads. Under gonads come male and female sex organs. The testis, it is a paired structure and one pair of testes is present in males in the scrotum outside the body. It produces male sex hormone called testosterone. It helps the development of secondary sexual characters in males like the development of mustache, beard, the voice change, the pubic hairs, etc. It also helps in the development of the male sex organs. Then ovary. It is the part of female reproductive system, and the function of the ovary is to produce the progesterone and estrogen. Two hormones, progesterone and estrogen. The estrogen helps in the development of secondary sexual characters like the development of breast, pubic hairs, underarm hairs, etc. It also helps in the development of female sex organ. Then this progesterone helps in the development of placenta during pregnancy. The level of the hormone will be high throughout the gestation period, that is the pregnancy period, and it helps in maintaining the pregnancy. So these are the endocrine system within the body. The thymus, the pancreas, the adrenal glands, the gonads like ovary and testicle or testis, etc. Nervous system and endocrine system. The human behavior is the product of interaction between these two systems. These systems help regulate the electrical and chemical processes that relay information throughout and between the brain and body. So these two systems, the nervous system and the endocrine system, both interact with each other. The nervous system comprises the brain and spinal cord, and the endocrine system includes multiple glands, and it secretes hormones. Electrical impulses act as the messenger in nervous system. Here, the hormones are the messengers. In nervous system, nerve impulses are transmitted through neurons. In endocrine system, the hormones are transmitted through blood vessels. No separate duct is there for the hormones to pass. So it is secreted through the bloodstream. Then the nervous system gives a quick response to the stimuli by the action potential and neurotransmitter, while the endocrine system responds slowly by secreting hormones. The nervous system is both voluntary and involuntary system, but the endocrine system is only involuntary system. In the nervous system, responses are localized, but in endocrine system, responses are widespread. So this nervous system and the endocrine system both interact with the hypothalamus. It controls the communication between these two systems via chemical messengers. They are both essential to the human body and work constantly to keep it functioning. The hypothalamus is the main link between these two systems. Its key function is to produce hormones that keeps the body in a stable condition known as homeostasis. It does the process of stability by coordinating the messages and signals received from other glands with those from the brain. So, the coordination by the hypothalamus is done by the messages and signal it is received from the glands and the brain cells. They coordinate it. There is an important relationship between the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland. The dysfunction of any of this gland, the hypothalamus or the pituitary, will lead to dysfunction of the other. If the hypothalamus doesn't work, then pituitary cannot work. And the pituitary, if it is failed, then hypothalamus also not able to work. So, together with other essential glands, they make up the body's vital endocrine system. So, hypothalamus plays an important role in linking the nervous system and the endocrine system. Now let's have a quick recap on what we have learned. The endocrine system, the structure and functions we have learned. Then the endocrine system, it includes ductless glands and it is seen in the brain, neck and the body. The glands are pineal gland, hypothalamus, pituitary gland, thyroid gland, thymus, pancreas, adrenal glands and the gonads, that is the testes and the ovaries. So these are the glands present in the human body. Then hypothalamus, it acts as a link between the nervous and the endocrine system. So the endocrine system and the nervous system work together. The endocrine system is a complex collection of glands and organs and it helps regulate various body functions. And it is accomplished through the release of hormones. For the proper control and coordination of the body, along with the nervous system, the endocrine system is also very important. Hope you like this video. Please remember to subscribe and share. Thank you and keep smiling.